5 make 10, and 10 make 20. Item, on the 24th, a light, unctuous enema, well prepared and gentle, to soften, moisten, and refresh the bowels of Monsieur Argon. What I like about Monsieur Florent, my apothecary, is that his bills are always civil. The bowels of Monsieur Argon. Nevertheless, Monsieur Florent, it is not enough to be civil. One must also be reasonable and not plunder sick people. 30 sous to inject water up my colon. With all due respect, Monsieur Florent, I have told you that elsewhere you have only charged me 20 sous, and 20 sous in the language of apothecaries is 10 sous. And here they are, 10 sous. Item, on the same day, a good detersive enema composed of rhubarb, rose honey, and other ingredients, as per the prescription, to scour, clean, and clear out the lower stomach of Monsieur Argon. 30 sous, with your permission. 10 sous. Item, on the same day, a hepatic, soporific, and somniferous brew intended to promote the sleep of Monsieur Argon. 35 sous. I don't complain about that. I actually slept very well. Item, on the 25th, a well-made solution prepared for the purpose of driving out the angry moods of Monsieur Argon. 23 sous. Okay, I'm glad you're being reasonable. Item, on the same day, a purgative and cooperative enema composed of fresh cinnamon, Turkish senna, and other ingredients to help combat the flatulence of Monsieur Argon and encourage the expulsion of excess gas. 50 sous. Ah! Monsieur Florent, you must be joking. Learn to be reasonable with your patients. There is no way my doctor, Monsieur Perron, told you to charge me 50 sous. If you carry on like that, no one will wish to be unwell. You must be satisfied with 30 sous. So this month I've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mixtures, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 enemas. And last month there were 12 mixtures and 20 enemas. It's no wonder I felt better last month than I do this month. I'll have to speak to Monsieur Perron about all of this. Come, take this all away! Noah. No matter what I say, they always leave me alone. It's impossible to keep them here. Nothing. They can't hear anything, and this isn't loud enough. Ring, ring, ring. No one. Ring, ring, ring. Are they deaf? Toilet! Ring! Ring! Ah, pitiful! Ring, pest! Ring, scoundrel! I'm furious! Ring! Ring! Can a sick person really be left alone like this? Ring! 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 Ah! They're going to let me die here! Ring! Ring!
Honey!
Ah, wretch! Ah, hussy!
To hell with your lack of patience! You hurry people so much that I'm not break my head open. One is just as bad as the other, so if you'll allow me, we're quits.
What? Hussy?
If you scold me, I'll cry.
You left me. Wretch,
Ah!
you... Damn it, do I also have to give up the pleasure of scolding her?
Scold as much as you like, I don't care.
I can't, Strumpet. You keep interrupting me.
If you should have the pleasure of scolding, I surely should have the pleasure of crying. To everyone their fancy. Ah!
Enough! Take this away, Pest. Take this away! Has my enema worked?
Your enema?
Yes. Have I produced excrement?
Oh dear, that's none of my business. Mr. Florent will have to put his nose in there since he's the one that profits from it.
Make sure to have another broth ready for the next one I am to take soon.
These doctors sure have a lot of fun with your body. You're the perfect milk cow. And I'd love for them to tell me what disease it is you have that requires them to prescribe so many remedies.
Be quiet, simpleton. It is not your job to question the decrees of the faculty. Have my daughter Angelique come here. I wish to speak with her.
Well, here she is coming of her own accord.
Angelique, my dear, come near. I wish to speak with you.
I'm ready to hear you.
Oh, give me my walking stick. I'll be right back.
Go quickly, sir, go. Your doctor's given you something to do.
Toinette!
What?
Look at me a little.
I'm looking at you.
Toinette!
Well, what, Toinette?
Don't you know what I want to talk about?
Let me guess. Your lover, since that's all we've talked about for the last 6 days, and you're not well unless you mention him.
Well, since you're aware of this, why aren't you the first to bring him up? And why don't you spare me the trouble of having to start the conversation?
You give me no time. And your needs on the subject are hard to preempt.
I admit, I never tire of discussing him with you. And my heart gets all fuzzy every time I have the opportunity to open up to you about him. But tell me, Toinette, do you condemn the feelings that I have towards him?
Far from it.
Am I wrong to give way to these sweet impressions?
I don't say that.
And do you believe that I should be insensible to the tender protestations of the ardent passion he shows me?
Heaven forbid!
And tell me, don't you think, as I do, that there's something providential, like an act of destiny in the unexpected way our acquaintance began?
Yes.
And don't you think that this act of defending me, knowing nothing about me, shows how good a man he is?
Agreed.
That it was the most generous way one could show it.
Okay.
That he did it with the greatest possible grace.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and don't you think, Toinette, that he is very handsome?
Certainly.
With the best manners in the world.
No doubt about it.
And that his speeches, like his actions, have something noble about them.
Most certainly.
And that there was nothing more passionate than all he says to me.
True.
And that there's nothing more painful than the restraint under which I'm kept, preventing, as it does, all interchange of sweet caresses and mutual ardor which heaven inspired.
You are right.
But dear Toinette, do you think he loves me as much as he says he does?
Well, these things sometimes do merit questioning. A grimace can often look loving, and I've seen many a great actor pull that off.
Toinette, what are you saying? Alas, judging by the way he speaks, is it possible he's not telling the truth?
No matter what, it'll soon be clear, and the decision he said he's made of asking your father for your hand is a sure way of showing you if what he says is true. That will be the proof.
Oh, Toinette, if he deceives me, I shall never in all my life believe a man again.
Here's your father coming back.
Angelique, my dear, I have a piece of news for you which perhaps you don't expect. You have been asked in marriage. What? You're laughing? Oh, that's lovely. Of course. That word marriage. Well, nothing is more amusing to young girls. Nature. Nature. So judging by your reaction, I suppose there's no need for me to ask if you're willing to marry.
I ought to do, Father, whatever you order.
I'm so glad to have such an obedient daughter. The thing is settled then, and you have been promised.
It's my duty, Father, to follow blindly all your wishes.
My wife, your stepmother, wanted me to make you a nun. She's always been bent on that.
Of course she has. The cow.
She would not consent to this marriage, but I carried the day, and my word has been given.
I owe you everything for your kindness, Father.
I, for my part, congratulate you. It's the wisest thing you've ever done in your life.
Well, I have not seen the person in question, but I'm told that I will be satisfied and that you will be too.
I'm quite certain of it, Father.
What, have you seen him already?
Since your consent of our marriage allows me to open my heart, I won't hide that chance made us acquainted 6 days ago. And the request being made to you is the result of the inclination we felt towards one another at first sight.
They didn't tell me that. But I'm glad to hear it. That's delightful. I hear he's a tall, well-built young fellow.
Yes, Father.
Quite strong.
Yes, indeed.
Pleasant.
Certainly.
Healthy.
Very healthy.
Wise and from a good family.
Absolutely.
An honest man.
Oh, the most honest in the world.
Who speaks both Latin and Greek.
I did not know that.
And who in 3 days will be made a doctor.
He, Father?
Yes. Did he not tell you?
Oh, no, not a word. Who told you this?
Monsieur Pergon.
Does Monsieur Pergon know him?
What a question. He must, since he's his nephew.
Cléante is the nephew of Monsieur Pergon?
Cléante? What? Cléante? We're talking about the man who has asked you in marriage.
Yes.
Yes. And he is the nephew of Monsieur Pergon, who is the son of his brother-in-law, Monsieur Diaphoris, and his son's name is Thomas Diaphoris, not Cléante. And we agreed to this match this morning, Monsieur Pergon, Monsieur Florent, and myself. And tomorrow, his father will bring my future son-in-law. What's the matter? You look unwell.
It is because, Father, I see now that you are speaking of one person and I of another.
What? Sir, you've come up with this absurd project? With all the wealth you possess, you've decided to marry your daughter to a doctor?
Yes, strumpets, what business is it of yours? Pest. Impudent girl that you are.
Gently, gently. You always jump straight to the insults. Can't we reason with one another without getting into a rage? Come, let's speak calmly. What reasons do you have, if you please, for such a marriage?
My reasons, seeing as I am infirm and sick, are I wish to have a son-in-law and relatives who are doctors, so that I can ask for their kind assistance in my illness. To have family members who are the source from which spring the remedies that are necessary to me, and to at all times be within reach of consultations and prescriptions.
Well, at least you have your reasons, and I appreciate us answering one another calmly. But now, sir, on your conscience, are you ill?
What, strumpet? Am I ill? Am I ill? Impudent!
Okay, you're
pest!
ill. Let's not fight about that. You're very ill. I agree with you. In fact, you're a lot more ill than you think. There, I said it. But your daughter is to choose a husband for herself, and since she's not ill, there's no use in giving her a doctor for a husband.
It's for my sake that I'm giving her a doctor for a husband. And a good daughter ought to be delighted to marry for the sake of her father's health.
Well, sir, as a friend, shall I offer you a piece of advice?
What advice?
Do not think of this match.
And the reason?
The reason is your daughter will never consent to it.
My daughter will never consent to it.
No.
My daughter?
Your daughter. She'll say she has no need of Mr. Diaphoris, nor of the son, Mr. Thomas Diaphoris, nor of all the diaphori in the world.
But I do have need of them. Not to mention the match is more advantageous than it seems. Thomas Diaphoris is Monsieur Diaphoris's sole heir. Moreover, Monsieur Pergon, who has neither wife nor child, has pledged all that he owns in favor of this marriage, and Monsieur Pergon is a man worth 80,000 francs in interest alone per year.
He must have killed a lot of people to become so rich.
80,000 francs is a lot, and I'm not counting his father's properties.
Sir, that's all very well, but nevertheless, between us, I tell you to choose another husband for her. She's not made to be Mrs. Diaphanous.
And I want it, to be just so.
Nonsense, don't say that.
Excuse me, don't say that.
I'm serious, don't.
Oh, and why shouldn't I say that?
People will say you don't know what you're saying.
Oh, people can say whatever they want to say. I'm saying that I want my daughter to act according to the promise that I've made.
Now, I feel sure that she won't.
I will force her to.
She will not, I tell you.
She will, or I will shut her up in a convent.
You?
I!
Okay.
What do you mean? Okay.
You won't shut her up in a convent?
I won't shut her up in a convent.
No.
No!
No!
Oh, well, this is amusing. I won't shut my daughter up in a convent if I like it.
No, I tell you.
And who will stop me?
You yourself.
Me.
You won't have the heart to do it.
I will.
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
You'll succumb to fatherly love.
I won't.
A little tear or two, arms thrown around your neck, a tender, my darling little papa will be enough to touch your heart.
All of that will be useless.
Yes, yes.
I tell you, nothing will change my mind.
Rubbish!
Don't say rubbish, you'll see.
Goodness! I know you! You're naturally kind-hearted.
I am not kind-hearted, and I can be violent too.
Gently, sir. You forget that you're ill.
I command her to prepare to take the husband I have fixed upon her.
And I absolutely forbid her to do anything of the kind.
What has become of us? And how audacious can an employee be to speak that way in front of her employer?
When an employer doesn't know what he's doing, a sensible employee has the right to set him straight.
Impudent girl, I will kill you.
It's
Come
my
here.
duty to protect you from doing something that would dishonor you.
Come here and let me teach you how to speak.
I'm making sure, as I should, that you don't do something insane.
Vixen!
No, I will never consent to this marriage.
Brat!
I don't want her to marry a Thomas Diaphanous.
Bitch!
And she will obey me sooner than you.
Angelique, stop her!
Father, don't make yourself ill.
Stop her now! Or I will give you my curse!
And I'll disinherit her.
Ah! 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 I can't take this anymore! This is going to kill me! Oh, my wife, come near.
What's wrong, my poor husband?
Are you here to protect me?
What's the matter, my sweet
Oh,
child?
my love.
My love.
I've just been made very upset.
Alas, my poor husband, how so, my love?
That pest, Toinette, has grown more insolent than ever.
Don't work yourself up.
She's turned me into a ball of rage.
Gently, my child.
She spent the last hour contradicting everything I want to do.
There, there.
She had the gall to say that I'm not ill.
She's an impertinent pest.
You know my soul. What the truth is.
Yes, my darling, she is wrong.
Oh, that pest Toinette will be the death of me.
Now, don't.
She is the cause of all my worries.
Don't be so angry.
And I've asked you so many times to send her away.
Alas, my pet, no employee is perfect. Sometimes we have to put up with their flaws in order to benefit from their strengths. The girl is skillful, careful, diligent, and above all, honest. And you know how it is these days. We have to be very careful who we take into our house. Hey there, Toinette.
Madam?
Why do you upset my husband?
Me? Madam? Alas, I don't know what you mean. All I think about is how to please him.
Ah, the deceitful girl.
He told us that he wishes to marry his daughter to the son of Mr. Diaphanous. And I responded that, well, I think the match is an advantageous one. He would do better to put her in a convent.
Well, there isn't much harm in that, and I think she is correct.
Oh, my love, you believe her? She is vile. She said more than 100 insolent things to me.
Well, I believe you, my dear. Come, compose yourself. Look at you. You're all upside down. And pull your nightcap down over your ears. Nothing will make you catch a cold more than letting air in through the ears.
Oh, how much I owe you for all you do for me, my love.
Toinette, Can you get me his fur cloak and some pillows so I can make him more comfortable in his armchair?
Oh.
Raise yourself a little so I can put this under you.
Oh.
And let's put this one here so you can rest your arm. And this one on the other side. And this one behind your back. And this one to support your head. There.
And this one to protect you from bad weather.
She's trying to smother me!
Now, what is it again?
I can't take this anymore!
But why fly into such a passion? She thought she was doing the right thing.
You don't understand, love. How evil and wicked she is. She's infuriated me. And now I'm going to need more than 8 mixtures and 12 enemas to recover.
Come, my little friend. Calm yourself.
My love, you are my only consolation.
Poor little pet.
And to repay you, my love, for all you do for me, I wish, my dear, as I told you before, to write my will.
Alas, my pet, do not speak of it. I cannot bear to think of it, and the very word will makes me shake with grief.
I asked you to speak to your notary about this.
And he's here. I brought him with me.
Oh, make him come in then, my life.
Alas, my darling, when a woman loves her husband, it is very hard to think of these things. Oh,
Come in, Monsieur de Bonnefoy. Come in, please. My wife tells me, sir, that you are an honest man and one of her closest friends. I have therefore asked her to speak to you about a will I wish to write.
I cannot speak of those things.
She has, sir, explained to me what your intentions are and told me what you mean to leave her. And I must tell you, you can't give anything to your wife by will.
Why?
It's against custom. If you were in a district where statute law prevailed, the thing could be done, but in Paris, and in almost all places governed by custom, it cannot be done, and the will would be held void. The only settlement that man and wife can make on each other is by living mutual donation, and there can be no children from either that marriage or from any previous marriage at the moment of the death of the first who dies.
Well, that's an impertinent custom. Forbidding a husband from leaving anything to a wife whom he loves and who takes such good care of him. I'll have to speak to my own lawyers about this to see what can be done.
Lawyers, I'm afraid, aren't who you should be speaking to, for they are very particular on this point and invariably take it as a given that breaking the law is a great crime. They can be very difficult, and very often they're unaware of the intricacies of moral judgment. There exists, however, other people you can consult who are much more accommodating, who know of expedients to gently override the law and render illegal actions to appear justified, who know how to smooth over difficulties and find means of eluding custom by some indirect advantage. Without that, what would become of us? We have to be able to take action, otherwise we wouldn't accomplish anything, and I wouldn't give a penny for our business.
My wife tells me that she told me you were a skillful and honest man, sir. Tell me, pray, how I can leave my fortune to her and deprive my child.
What you can do? Well, you can quietly choose a close friend of your wife's to whom you'll give all that you own in due form through your will, and then that friend will return everything to her. You can also sign safe bonds in favor of various creditors who will lend their names to your wife, and in whose hand will leave a letter declaring that what was done was only to serve her. Finally, you can in your lifetime put cash in her hands, or obligations which you may have made payable to bearer.
Good God, please! Do not trouble yourself with all that. If I lose you, my child, I don't want to live anymore.
My love.
Yes, my pet. If I'm unfortunate enough to lose you,
Oh, my dear wifey.
life will be nothing to me.
My love.
And I will follow you to the grave to show you all the tenderness I feel for you.
Mommy, cheer up. I beseech you. You're breaking my heart.
These tears are unseasonable, and things have not come to that yet.
Oh, sir, you do not know what it is to have a husband one loves so tenderly.
The only regret I shall have if I die, Mommy, is that I never had a child with you. Monsieur Perdon told me he could make me have one.
That may come still.
We should, my dear, write my will according to what this gentleman suggests. But as a precaution, I wish to give you 20,000 francs in gold, which I have in the wainscoting of my room's alcove. In addition, 2 notes payable to bearer, which are due me, one from Monsieur Durand and the other from Monsieur Juron.
No, I refuse. How much do you have in your alcove?
20,000 francs, my love.
Do not speak to me of your money, I beseech you. And how much are the 2 bills for?
Mommy, one is for 5,000 francs and the other for 6,000 francs.
All the wealth in the world, my child, is nothing to me compared to you.
Would you like us to proceed with the testament?
Oh, yes, sir, please. But we will be more comfortable in my office. Take me there, my life.
Let's go, my poor little child. Let's go.
There they go to your father's office with the notary. And I heard something about a will. Your stepmother doesn't miss a beat. She's no doubt urging your father to conspire against you.
He can dispose of his money as he likes, as long as he doesn't dispose of my heart. Do you see, Toinette, to what violence I am subjected? Don't abandon me, I beg you, in this time of extreme duress.
Me? Abandon you? I'd rather die. Your stepmother has turned me into her confidant and tried to make me espouse her interests, but I never liked her. I've always been on your side. Let me handle this. I will do everything I can to serve you. But in order for me to do so more effectively, I need to change tactics. Cover my wish to help you and pretend to agree with the wishes of your stepmother and father.
Toinette!
She's calling me. Good night. Trust me. What do you want, sir?
What do I want?
Ah! It's you! What a surprise! What are you doing here?
I'm here to meet my destiny. Speak with the lovely Angelique, consult the feelings of her heart, and ask her what she intends to do about this fatal marriage of which I just became aware.
That may be, but one can't just go ahead and speak to Angelique. Precautions must be taken. And you've been told how closely she's watched, that she isn't allowed to leave the house or to speak to anyone, and that it was only thanks to the curiosity of her aunt that we obtained permission to go to the play that gave birth to this passion. And we have, of course, taken care not to say anything to anyone.
That's why I'm not here as Cleante, nor as her lover, but as a friend of her music teacher who gave me permission to say that I've come in his stead.
Here's her father.
Oh.
Take a few steps back and let me tell him who you are.
Monsieur Bergon, you told me to walk throughout my room every day, 12 steps in each direction. But I forgot to ask him which direction, lengthwise or widthwise.
Sir, there's a gentleman here who'd like...
Softly, strumpet, you're rattling my brain, and you're forgetting that it's not good to speak too loudly to sick people.
I wanted to tell you...
Softly, I said.
Sir, there is a gentleman here who would like to speak with you.
What?
I'm saying that there is a gentleman outside who would like to speak.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that there is a gentleman here who wishes to speak to you.
Oh, let him in!
Sir.
Do not speak so loud! You might rattle the brain of Mr. Argon.
Sir, I'm delighted to find you up and to see that you're feeling better.
Excuse me? Better? You are wrong. Monsieur never feels better.
I was told that he was feeling better, and I find that he looks better too.
What do you mean he looks better? He looks terrible. And whoever told you he was feeling better is an impertinent fool. He's never felt worse.
She's right.
He walks, sleeps, eats, and drinks like other folks, but that does not mean he's not very ill.
Quite true.
Sir, I'm deeply sorry to hear this. I was sent here by your daughter's music teacher. He was suddenly called away to the country for a few days and asked me, as his close friend, to come in his stead and continue with his lessons so that she doesn't forget what she's already learned.
Very well. Call Angelique.
Sir, it'll make you dizzy. We can't allow anything that'll make your emotions run high given the state you're in, or rattle your brain.
No, make her come.
He can't give her a good lesson if they're not left alone.
No. I like music. I shall be glad to. Oh, here she comes now. You go. Make sure my wife is dressed. Angelique, my dear, your music teacher has gone to the country, and this person...
Oh, my God.
Whoa, what's the matter? Why so surprised? What is it? What's moving you so?
What is unfolding here, Father, is an incredibly strange coincidence.
How?
I dreamt last night that I was in the greatest of trouble, and that a person exactly like this gentleman appeared, to whom I asked if he could help, and who saved me from the danger I was in, and my astonishment was very big when unexpectedly, upon coming here, I found the person of whom I had been dreaming all night.
It brings me no small happiness to occupy your thoughts, either while you're asleep or awake. And my delight would be great indeed if you were in any danger out of which you would think me worthy of delivering you. And there is nothing I would not do for you.
Well, sir, I am now entirely of your opinion, and I unsay all that I said yesterday. Here are Diaphragm the father and Diaphragm the son coming to see you. What a son-in-law you will have. You will find the most well-built young fellow in the world, and the wittiest. He only uttered 2 words to me. They were perfect. And your daughter will be delighted with him.
Don't leave, sir. It turns out that I am about to marry my daughter, and they've just brought her future husband, whom she has not yet met.
You do me too great an honor, sir, in wishing me witness such a pleasant interview.
He is the son of a good doctor, and the wedding is to take place in 3 days.
Wonderful.
Do you tell her music teacher that he is invited to the wedding?
I won't fail to do so.
You two are invited.
You do me too much honor, sir.
Come, make room. Here they are.
My doctor, Monsieur Pergon, has forbade me from removing my cap, but you are a man of the profession, you understand.
We are bound in all our visits to bring relief to the ailing, not discomfort.
It is with
We come here, sir,
great joy
my son Thomas
that
and
I
I,
receive the
to
honor
express
you do me.
the delight we feel in the
And I
grace
wish,
you extend
sir,
in so
I could have
kindly
come to your
welcoming us.
house to assure you of
honor,
it.
sir, of this
But you
alliance,
know,
and to
sir,
assure you
what
that
a
in all
poor
things
invalid is
that
who can
concern
only
our
tell you
profession
here
as well as
that he will
everything
seize every
else, we
opportunity
shall always
to
be ready,
assure you,
sir,
sir,
to
that
show
he is
you
entirely
our zeal.
at your service.
Now, Thomas, come forward and pay your respects.
Ought I not to begin with the father?
Yes.
Sir, I come to pay homage, acknowledge, cherish, and revere you as a second father, but a second father to whom I owe more than the first. The first gave me birth, but you have chosen me. His welcoming me was an obligation, yours an act of grace. What I owe him is of the body, what I owe you is of the will. And in so much the more as intellectual abilities are above corporal ones, in so much the more do I preciously hold this future filiation for which I show you today in advance my most humble, most respectful reverence.
Long live the universities that create such articulate people.
Was that to your satisfaction, Father?
Optime.
Come, bow before this gentleman.
Do I kiss?
Yes, yes.
Madam, it is only just that the heavens have bestowed upon you the title of stepmother.
Oh,
Since
it
one
is not
sees-
to my wife, but to my daughter whom you speak.
Oh. Where is she?
She will be here soon.
Shall I wait, Father, till she comes?
Go ahead with your compliments to Mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle, just as the colossi of Memnon produced a harmonious sound when struck by the first rays of the sun, I am moved by a sweet rapture at the appearance of daytime celestial body, your beauty. And just as the naturalists notice that the flower, named heliotrope, always turns towards this daytime star, so will my heart henceforth always turn to the resplendent stars of your adorable eyes, as well as to you, its one and only cardinal point. Allow me then, Mademoiselle, to hang on the altar of your charms the offering of this heart that longs for and has no other ambition than the glory of being, until death, your most humble, most obedient, most faithful servant and husband.
That's what studying is for, to learn to say such beautiful things.
Well, what do you think?
That monsieur is performing miracles, and if he's as good a doctor as he is an orator, it would be most pleasant to be one of his patients.
Quite. It will be something if his prescriptions are as well written as his speeches.
Quickly, chairs for everyone. Daughter, come, sit here. See, sir, how everyone admires your son. I think you are quite lucky to have such a fine young man as your offspring.
Sir, it isn't only because I'm his father, but I can say I have good reasons to be satisfied with him. And all who meet him speak of him as one completely without guile. He doesn't have a lively imagination, nor that spark of wit bestowed on others. But that's why I long predicted his unique capacity for judgment, an indispensable quality for the exercise of medicine. As a little boy, he never was sharp or lively. He was always gentle, peaceful, taciturn, never said a word. and never engaged in those little games that we call children's play. Teaching him how to read was most difficult, and at 9 years old, he still couldn't say the alphabet. But I used to say to myself, that's a good omen. Trees that grow slowly bear the best fruit. Engraving words into marble takes more time, but the results last longer, and that dullness of understanding, that thickness of imagination, is a mark of sound judgment in the future. When I sent him off to college, he ran into difficulties. But he stuck to his duty, and his tutors always praised him for his assiduity and hard work. And finally, by means of their uninterrupted hammering, he at last succeeded gloriously in obtaining his degree. And I can say without vanity that ever since he joined our ranks, there has been no candidate that has made more noise than he in all the disputations of our science. He has become a formidable opponent, and no debate unfolds without him pushing the opposing point of view to the last extreme. He's firm in all disputes, strong as a whale in his principles, never changes his opinion, and pursues an argument to the last recesses of logic. But what pleases me the most, and where he follows my example, is that he is blindly attached to the opinions of our elders and has never tried to understand recent experiments, nor listen to the reasons that led to the supposed discoveries of our century.
I have defended a thesis against these conspirators that, with the permission of this gentleman, I dare to present to Mademoiselle as an homage I owe her to the proof of my genius.
Nothing could be more useless to me.
Please, let me have it. I'll make use of it to adorn the walls of my bedroom.
With the permission of this gentleman, I invite Mademoiselle to come witness one of these days, for your entertainment, the dissection of a woman's body upon whom I am to give a lecture.
That will be most entertaining. Some give their lady the pleasure of seeing a play, but the dissection of a woman's body is far more romantic.
Moreover, with respects to the qualities required for marriage and procreation, I can assure you that based on the assessment of our team of doctors, he is exactly as one would wish him to be. He's in possession of a strong and prolific virtue, and has the necessary temperament to engender children that will be well built.
Is it not your intention, sir, to have your son favored in court and to obtain a post of physician for him there?
To tell you the truth, I've never had any predilection to practice with the great, and I've always found that it is best to stick with ordinary people. Ordinary people are obstacle-free, you see. With them, there's no reason to be accountable to anyone. And as long as one artfully follows the rules laid down by the faculty, there's nothing to worry about. What's most vexing about people of high rank is that when they're ill, they demand that their doctor cure them.
Shameless! It's quite bold of them to ask you to cure them. That's not what you're there for. You're supposed to receive fees and prescribe medicine. It's their job to get better if they wish to.
True. We are only bound to treat people according to form.
Please, sir, make my daughter sing before the company.
I was hoping you would ask, sir. And for everyone's amusement, I thought that the young lady and I could sing from a new opera that has just come out. Here is your part.
Mine?
Don't be shy, please. And let me explain the scene that we'll sing together is about. Now, I don't have a singing voice, but here, what's important is that I'm heard. And I know that you'll all forgive me, for as you can see, I'm being asked to make the young lady sing.
Are the verses pretty?
It's really nothing but a small impromptu opera. And what you'll hear is only cadence prose, or non-rhyming verse, the kind that naturally flows out of two people when passion demands it.
Very well, let's hear it.
The subject of the scene is as follows. A shepherd is watching a play when suddenly he's disturbed by a strange noise nearby, and upon turning around sees a scoundrel who with disgusting language is abusing a young shepherdess. He immediately takes the side of the sex to which all men must pay homage, and after having chastised the brute for his insolence, approaches the shepherdess and sees a young girl who is shedding the most precious tears in the world from the most beautiful two eyes he has ever beheld. Alas, he says to himself, how could anyone insult such charms? What inhumane beast, what barbaric animal would not be moved by such tears? He endeavors to stop them, those tears which he finds so beautiful, and at the same time, the shepherdess endeavors to thank him for the small service he rendered. But she does it in so touching a manner, so tender, so passionate, that the shepherd succumbs, and each word, each look is a burning shaft which penetrates his heart. Is there anything in the world worthy of such words of gratitude? And where would not one go? What service, what danger would not one run towards to benefit for a single moment from the touching sweetness of so grateful a heart? The play he was watching continues, yet he's no longer able to pay attention, and he complains that it was too short because when it ends, he's separated from his shepherdess. And from that very first sight, that very first moment, he carries home with him the violent passion that only a love of many years can produce. He immediately begins to feel the pains of absence and the torment of no longer seeing what he beheld for such a short time. He tries all means possible to catch a fleeting view of the vision he holds so close to his heart day and night. But the tight watch under which his shepherdess is being kept deprives him of doing so. Now, the violence of his passion leads him to ask, by means of a note, smart as he is, that he manages to send in advance to the adorable beauty without whom he can't live, for permission to ask for her hand. And he obtains it from her. But in the meantime, he learns that the father of his beauty has decided to marry her to another, and that everything is already being prepared to celebrate that ceremony. Judge for yourselves what a cruel wound this is to the heart of that poor shepherd. Well, now he begins to suffer mortal pains. He cannot bear the horrifying thought of seeing his love being held by another, and in his despair, he finds means to introduce himself into the house of his shepherdess, to learn her feelings, and to hear directly from her the fate to which he must resign himself. And there he encounters everything he was most fearing. He watches the unworthy rival that a father's whim opposes the tenderness of his love. He watches him, triumphant, this pathetic rival, standing between him and the shepherdess as if already assured of his conquest. And that sight fills him with a wrath he can hardly control. And so he looks despairingly at the object of his adoration. But the respect he owes her and her father prevents him from speaking, except with his eyes. And at last he breaks through all restraint, and the greatness of his love forces him to speak as follows. Phyllis, it's too much to deny. Let's break this harsh silence, provide your guidance. Shall I live or shall I die?
Tears cease. This wedding you deplore as you see me overwhelmed heaven, I strive to pray. Then I gaze at you and blush. I've nothing else to say.
Incredible. I had no idea my daughter could sing like that without having rehearsed.
Is it possible, Phyllis, that the lover Tircis is so blessed by your sweet grace as in your heart to find a place?
The pain is such, I can't, I've tried. Tircis, it's too much. It's you I love, I cannot hide.
Oh, sacred words! Am I so blessed? Repeat them, Phyllis. Set my doubts at rest.
I love you, Tircis.
Ah, Phyllis, again!
I love you, Tircis.
Once more, Phyllis, times 10!
I love you, I love you, Tircis. I love you.
Gods, kings, from the world above, accessed eternal love, can you compare your joy to mine? But Phyllis, one haunting sign perturbs her sweet design. A rival.
I despise him more than death. His presence, his breath, they torture me as they do you, cruel.
But to a father's wishes would subject you.
I'd rather die, I'd rather die, I'd rather die than consent this lie, I'd rather die.
Then what does the father say?
Nothing.
Oh, then the father is a fool to allow such silliness to go on without saying a word. No, enough! That opera is in very poor taste. The shepherd Tircis is a fool, and the shepherdess Phyllis is an impudent wretch to speak that way in front of her father. Let me see that book. Well, the words you just sang, this is only the music.
Aren't you aware, sir, that recently a new technique was invented to embed lyrics within notes?
Very well, I am your servant, sir. And I bid you a good day. We could have done without your opera.
I sought to amuse.
Foolish things do not amuse, sir. Ah, my wife. Here is the son of Monsieur Diaphorus.
Madam, it is only just that the heavens have bestowed upon you the title of stepmother. Since one sees
Sir, I am
in you,
delighted to have come just in time to meet you.
since one sees in you, madam, you have interrupted me in the middle of my sentence, and it has troubled my memory.
Ma, keep it for another time.
I wish you could have come sooner, Mommy.
Ah, madam, you would have heard of the statues of Memnon and a heliotrope flower.
Come, give this gentleman your hand, my dear, and pledge to him your devotion as to a husband.
Father,
Well, Father, what do you mean?
please don't rush things. At least give us time to become acquainted and to see grow within ourselves that sympathy for each other that is so necessary to a perfect union.
As far as I'm concerned, mademoiselle, it has already grown within me, and I don't need to wait any longer.
You may be ready, sir, but I'm not. And I must confess, your merit has not yet made an impression on my heart.
Well, it will, once you're married.
Father, please, give me more time. Marriage is a mutual commitment which should never be imposed by force. And if this gentleman is a man of honor, he ought not to accept a person who has not given her consent.
Nego consequentium, mademoiselle. I can be a man of honor and accept you from the hands of your father.
It's unbecoming, sir, to force your love on someone, anyone.
We learned from reading the greats, mademoiselle, that it was their custom for the men to carry off by force from their father's house the women they wished to marry, so it would not appear that a woman would willingly lie with a man.
The greats, sir, are of the past, and we are of the present. There is no need for pretense in our age, and when a marriage pleases us, we know full well how to run towards it without being dragged by force. Have a little patience. If you love me, you ought to do what I wish.
Certainly, mademoiselle, but without prejudice to the interest of my feelings.
But the greatest mark of love is to submit to the feelings of her who is loved.
Distinguo, mademoiselle. In all that pertains to her feelings, concedo, but to that which pertains to her freedom, nego.
Oh.
Argue with him all you want. This gentleman is fresh out of college. He will always win. Why resist and refuse attaching yourself to the glory of such an educated man?
She probably has some other idea in mind.
If I do, madam, it's one that aligns with honor and reason.
Well, I'm playing an interesting role here.
If I were you, my dear, I wouldn't force this marriage. And I know very well what I would do.
I know, madam, what you mean by this, and how high in your esteem you've placed me. But perhaps your advice won't be lucky enough to be followed.
That's because well-behaved and honest young girls like yourself scorn obeying the will of their fathers. Obedience was all very well in former times.
A daughter's duties have their limits, madam, and neither reason nor law extend them to all things.
Which means that you can have only one idea in mind. Marriage, but that you should be free to choose the husband that most suits you and your fantasies.
If my father doesn't wish to give me a husband that pleases me, I can ask, at the very least, he does not force me to marry one I can never love.
Gentlemen, my apologies for all of this.
We all have our... We all have our own goals when we choose to marry. For my part, as I only want a husband whom I love sincerely and with whom I can share an attachment with my whole life, I confess I feel bound to be somewhat careful. Others marry simply to free themselves from the constraints of their parents' will and to find themselves in situations where they can do whatever they want. And finally, madam, there are those who see marriage as a lucrative business, who marry only to receive settlements and to enrich themselves by the death of those they marry, and who run without scruple from one husband to the next and take for themselves what was left behind. These women, I would guess, don't need much from the marriage itself and don't care at all what the husband is like.
I find you quite opinionated today, my dear. And I would love to hear exactly what you mean by this.
Madam, well, what could I mean but what I say?
You are so dumb, my dear, that one can hardly stand you.
You'd like to extract from me some rude answer, but I will warn you, you won't have the pleasure of doing so.
Nothing can equal your impertinence.
No, madam, that is true.
And you have a ridiculous pride, an insolent arrogance that makes everyone laugh at you.
Oh, this will be useless, madam. I shall be well behaved in spite of you. And to deprive you of all hope of succeeding, I will withdraw from your presence.
Listen to me of two things. One, either you will marry this gentleman, or you will be sent to a convent. I give you 2 days to decide. Don't be angry, Mommy. I will reprimand her, I promise.
Forgive me, my child. but I must prepare to go to town for some important business I must attend to. I'll be back soon.
Go, Mommy. Yeah, and be sure to speak to your notary so that he may expedite you know what. Bye-bye, Mommy. How that woman loves me, it is perfectly astounding.
As for us, sir, we shall now take our leave of you.
Oh, sirs, please wait. Before you go, tell me how I'm doing.
Come, Thomas, take the gentleman's other arm so that I may see whether you can accurately judge the quality of his pulse. Quid dici?
Decode that the pulse of this gentleman is of a man who isn't well.
Good.
It's durosculus, which is to say hard,
Very well.
arrhythmiatic,
Bene.
and even a tad bit tachycardic,
Optime.
which speaks to an intemperance in the splenic parenchyma, which is to say the spleen.
Quite right.
Wrong. Monsieur Perron says my liver is ill, not my spleen.
Certainly. He who says parenchyma says both one and the other because of how connected they are, thanks to the pylorus vos breve, and often to the meatus colodicus. Does he recommend you eat plenty of roast meat?
No, only boiled meat.
Yes, yes, roast or boiled, it's all the same. His recommendation is wise, and you could not be in better hands.
Tell me, sir, how many grains of salt ought I eat on my egg?
6, 8, 10, as long as it's an even number. Just as it should be an odd number for medications.
Good day, sir.
Before I go, I must inform you of something that should give you much concern. While I was passing Angelique's room, I saw a young man.
A young man?
Yes,
With my daughter?
yes,
In her room?
yes.
The minx!
He ran away as soon as he saw me.
Well, now I understand her resistance. Oh, she will pay for this. She will pay for this!
My child,
Oh, what trouble!
my love.
Go, Mommy. Go! They won't even let me think about how ill I am. In truth, I'm at the end of my rope.
Well, brother, what's the matter? How are you?
Oh, very bad, sister.
What do you mean, very bad?
I'm in such a state of weakness, it's unimaginable.
That's unsettling to hear.
I barely have the strength to speak.
I was coming here with the intention of proposing a match for my niece, Angelique.
Oh, don't you dare speak to me of that girl, that brat, that impudent wretch, who in 2 days will be made a nun!
Oh! Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that your energy has returned and that my visit is helping. We'll discuss business in a moment. But first, I have brought with me a dancer for your entertainment. It should do you at least as good as a prescription from your Mr. Pergon. Well, brother, what do you say to that? Wasn't that as good as a good hit of medicine?
Depends what kind.
Now, brother, shall we have a little chat?
Sister, I'll be right back.
Sir, you forget you can't walk without your cane.
You're right.
Madam, please don't give up on the interests of your niece.
I will do everything within my power.
We must absolutely stop this absurd marriage he's contrived. And I have an idea. We must bring a doctor who understands our interests, turns him against Mr. Pergon, and calls out his behavior. But since we have no one, I've decided to play the part. Huh? It's a rather burlesque idea, and it may be more funny than good. But leave it to me. Just play your part. Here's our man.
Will you allow me, dear brother, to ask that above all things you don't rile yourself up during our conversation?
Absolutely.
That you respond without bitterness to the things that I might say?
Yes.
And that you engage with me on the business at hand with a spirit devoid of all passion?
Dear me, yes. What a preamble.
How is it, dear brother, that with all the wealth you possess and having only one daughter, you speak of sending her to a convent?
How is it, dear sister, that I am master of my family and I can do all I see fit?
Oh, your wife doesn't fail to advise you to get rid of your daughter. And I have no doubt that out of the kindness of her heart, she'd be delighted to see her become a perfect nun.
Oh, wonderful. Here we are again. It's all her fault, and she's the one who does all the harm.
Fine, brother. Let's leave her out of this. She's a woman with the best intentions in the world and who would never act out of her own interest, who expresses the most extraordinary tenderness to you and shows inconceivable goodness to your child. There's no doubt. Let's not talk about her. Let's return to the subject of your daughter. What on earth can your reasons be, dear brother, for wishing to give her in marriage to the son of a doctor?
My reasons are, dear sister, I wish to have in my son-in-law the person that I want.
But he's not who your daughter wants, and she has a much more suitable match in mind.
But this one is suitable for me.
But is the husband she must take, dear brother, for herself or for you?
He must be both for her and for me. I wish to bring into my family people that are useful to me.
Therefore, if you had a son, you'd insist he what? Marry a nurse?
Why not?
Is it truly the case that you'll fall prey to every last idea your doctors throw at you, and that you are determined to remain ill in spite of man and nature?
What do you mean by that, sister?
I mean, brother, that I know of no man that is less sick than you, and that I will be quite satisfied with a constitution such as yours. In fact, one great proof that you're doing very well and have a perfectly sound body is that despite how hard you've tried, you've failed, as of yet, to compromise the fitness of your health, and you haven't conked out from all the potions you've been taking.
Are you aware, dear sister, that it's these potions that are keeping me healthy? And Monsieur Pergon said that if I were to go 3 days without his care, I'd be dead.
If you're not careful, he'll take such good care of you, he'll kill you in no time.
Let's have a real conversation here, sister. Do you not believe in medicine at all?
I do not believe, brother, that anyone should always and at all costs believe in medicine.
So you do not hold absolutely true something that has been revered by everyone since the beginning of time.
Not only do I not hold it absolutely true, I see it as one of the greatest follies of our time to do so. And to consider things from a philosophical point of view, I don't know of a more absurd piece of mummery, of anything more ridiculous than a man who gives over all his power to another man just because he says he can cure him.
Why wouldn't you want a man to give over all his power to another man who says he can cure him?
For the simple reason, brother, that what actually powers our machine is a mystery that has not perhaps been solved.
Okay. So according to you, my doctors know nothing at all.
No, brother, they know a lot about the classics. They can speak Latin fluently. They can name in Greek every disease as well as categorize them and distinguish one from another. But as for curing them, curing you, me, curing a woman?
But you have to admit that doctors know more on the subject than common folk.
They know, brother, what I've told you, which is, and this is all I'm saying, doesn't cure everything. And the only art your doctors truly master is that of pompous gibberish, specious babbling that gives you words instead of reasons, and promises instead of results.
Oh, come on, sister. There are plenty of people just as wise and clever as you. And we see it all over, everywhere, with everyone. When it comes to illness, they turn to the doctor.
Does that mean we're right? Humans are weak, scared. When times are hard, of course, they turn to those who say they have all the answers. Does that make them trustworthy? Your Mr. Pergon, for example, is incapable of nuance. He's a man who believes in his own decrees more than all mathematical demonstrations, and who would think it a crime to question them. Who sees in medical science nothing opaque, nothing uncertain, nothing complicated, and through stubborn prejudice, obstinate self-confidence, boorish common sense and reason, orders purgatives and bleedings left and right, and hesitates at nothing. But we must bear him no ill will for the harm he does us, because it is with the best intentions in the world that he will kill you. And in killing you, he'll do no more than he's done to his wife and children and to himself if need be.
You just have a grudge against him. But let's get to the point here, sister. What are we to do when we are ill?
Oh, in your case?
Yes.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Rest. Attend to your spirit. Go out for a walk. Look at the birds. It is possible that nature, when we leave her alone, will gently recover on her own from the disorder she's fallen into.
So we cannot affect nature.
When Mr. Burgon speaks to you of assisting, helping, of relieving nature, of removing in you what is injurious to her, of giving you what you lack and restoring you, when he speaks of purifying your blood, of refreshing your bowels and your brain, of deflating your spleen, of repairing your liver, rebuilding your lungs, fortifying your heart, when he speaks of secret methods to lengthen your life, he's writing his best scientific novel. But when it comes to words versus actual cures, he and all your great doctors fall into two distinct groups. Listen to them talk, and they're the cleverest people in the world. See them at work, and they're the most ignorant, especially if you have a visionet.
Oh, sister, please.
What? I'm only speaking the truth.
Oh, Eureka! A great woman thinker is born. I wish some of these learned men could take you up on your arguments and bring you down a notch or two.
My goal here, brother, is not to argue with the whole profession. What I say is only for your ears. To each and every one, their own opinion, I guess. My goal here is to deliver you from the error that you have fallen into, and to see if I could offer you some joy by bringing you to one of Moliere's plays on the topic.
You must be joking. Your Moliere is a fool with his comedies. I think it quite bold of him to go and poke fun at hardworking doctors. How dare he comment on the profession? He is a bonehead and an ass to dare laugh at their consultations and prescriptions, to mock the entire body of physicians, and to put on his stage such venerable people as those gentlemen.
Who else would you have him put on his stage? Princes and kings are brought there every day. I'm told they're just as venerable.
No, by all the devils. And if I were a physician, I would take my revenge. If he were under my care, I would let him die without lifting a finger. In vain would he beg and pray. I wouldn't offer him the least little bleeding. I wouldn't prescribe the least little injection. And I would tell him, die.
Oh.
Die like a dog. I'll teach you to laugh at us doctors.
Okay. You seem very angry with him.
Yes, because he is an obstinate idiot. And if those doctors were smart, they would do what I say.
Well, he'll be even smarter than your doctors because he won't ask for their help.
Oh, he'll regret it when he's in dire need. But sister, please, let's not talk about that man anymore. It's infuriating, and you're making me feel worse.
I'm happy to, brother. And I'll just say, in conclusion, despite your daughter showing a slight repugnance for the match you proposed, you should not make the harsh decision to shut her up in a convent. That when considering the suitability of a son-in-law, you should not fall prey to your unfounded fears. And that when it comes to marriage, you should yield to the inclinations of your daughter, since the engagement is a lifelong one and her happiness depends on it.
Excuse me for a moment, sister.
Where are you going?
To have my enema. It won't take long.
Are you serious? Can you not leave your bowels alone for one moment? No. Put it off for another time and rest.
What right have you to interfere and prevent this gentleman from having his enema?
Sir, please.
You're quite the woman to show such boldness. One should not mock our practices and make me waste my time. I came here to administer an enema. And now I'll have to go tell Mr. Purgon I was prevented in executing my orders and stopped in the performance of my duty? You'll see. You'll see. Oh.
Sister, I'm afraid you may have caused me some great misfortune.
Oh, the great misfortune of not having the enema Mr. Purgon prescribed.
You will drive me mad. I wish you had it, my disease, and then we'd see how you behave.
Well, I've just heard lovely news. You mock my prescriptions and refuse to take the remedy I ordered.
Sir, now, it's not at
This
all.
is quite daring a move. And a strange rebellion of a patient against his doctor.
Horrible.
It's not my fault.
An enema that I myself had the pleasure of preparing.
It was...
That I created and mixed according to the very best practices.
This is wrong.
And that would have had a marvelous effect on your intestines.
It was her.
To send it back with contempt.
She is the cause.
Such conduct is monstrous.
True.
A vicious attack against the profession.
It
A
was
crime of high treason which cannot be too severely punished.
You are quite right.
I declare here and now that I am breaking our contract.
It was my
That I
sister's
want
fault.
no more connection to you.
Good.
And that to end all association with you, here is the deed of gift which I made to my nephew in favor of the marriage.
Oh, it was my sister's fault!
To reject my enema?
Let it be brought! I have it right now!
He is unworthy of your care.
I would have cured you in no time. I was about to clean out your body and clear it of its troubles.
Ah, my sister!
All I needed was 12 more enemas to clean the whole bag.
He doesn't deserve it.
But since you don't want to be cured by me,
It's not my fault!
since you have chosen to disregard the obedience you owe to your doctor,
Vengeance.
since you are now a rebel against the remedies I prescribe for you,
No! Absolutely
I
not!
must tell you that I leave you to your weak constitution, to the vicissitudes of your bowels, to the putrescence of your blood, to the pungency of your bile, and to the feculence of your moods.
Well said.
God help me.
And I call that within 4 days you'll be incurable.
Oh, mercy!
That you'll develop bradypepsia,
Mr. Perkle!
and then dyspepsia,
Mr. Perkle!
and then apipsy,
Mr. Perkle!
and then leyenterry,
Mr. Perkle!
and then dysentery,
Mr. Perkle!
and then dropsy,
Mr. Perkle!
and finally, from dropsy to the absence of life, where your folly will have brought you.
Heaven help me. I am dead. Sister, you've ruined me.
What?
I am undone. I can already feel the effects of his retaliation.
Really, brother, you are mad, and I'd rather no one see you behave in such a foolish way. Pinch yourself. I beg you, step back from the abyss and do not allow your imagination to tear you apart so much.
Did you not hear with what strange diseases he's threatened me?
What a silly man you are.
He said that I would become incurable within 4 days.
And why does what he says matter? Is he an oracle? You speak as if Mr. Purgon holds the strings of your life in his hands and has supreme authority to prolong it or cut it short.
He understands what is wrong with me and how best to treat me.
I must acknowledge that you seem to have lost sight of everything that's real and that you look at the world with very strange eyes.
There's a doctor here, sir, who wishes to see you.
What doctor?
A doctor of the profession of doctors.
Who is he?
I don't know who he is, but he is just as much like me as two peas in a pod. And if I wasn't sure that my mother was an honest woman, I would say that this is a little brother she's given me since my father passed away.
See, you are well taken care of. One doctor leaves you and another one comes to replace him.
Sister, I am terrified that you have caused me some great misfortune.
Are you still harping on what he said?
I can't stop thinking about all those strange diseases, which I know nothing about.
Allow me, sir, to come and pay my respects and to offer my small services for all the bleedings and purgings you may require.
I'm at your service, sir. My God, it's Toinette herself.
I beg you to excuse me one moment, sir. I forgot to give a small order to my servant. I'll be right back.
Huh. It may as well be Toinette, no?
True, the resemblance is striking. But we've seen this before. Literature is filled with similar depictions.
I am astonished, and I have...
What do you want, sir?
What?
Did you call for me?
Me? No.
My ears must have been ringing then.
No, stay here and see how much that doctor looks like you.
No thank you. I have so much to do, and I've seen him already.
Oh. If I wasn't interacting with both of them, I would swear they were the same person.
I've read surprising stories about similar cases and heard of more than one instance that had everyone bluffed.
I'm bluffed right now, and I could swear that the two is just one.
Sir, I sincerely beg your pardon.
Amazing!
You'll forgive me, I'm sure, for the urge I felt to meet such an illustrious patient. And your reputation reaches the farthest corners of the world, must be blamed for the liberty I am taking.
I'm truly grateful to you, sir.
I see, sir, that you're staring at me piercingly. How old do you think I am?
26, maybe 27 years old at the most.
I'm 90 years old.
90 years old!
Yes, you're seeing the effects of my art, which maintains one expression as vigorous as you see me.
Upon my word, here's a fine, youthful old fellow of 90!
I am an itinerant doctor, one who travels from town to town, province to province, kingdom to kingdom, to find materials illustrious enough for my abilities, to find patients worthy of my attention, capable of understanding the great and noble medical secrets I have discovered. I have a profound disdain for common diseases, for the trifles of rheumatism and coughs, for silly vapors, fevers, and migraines. I want important diseases, a high-lasting fever with hallucinations, a solid scarlet fever, a solid plague, a solid well-formed edema, a solid pleurisy with inflammation of the lungs. That's where I feel at home. That's where I triumph, and I wish, sir, that you had all those diseases combined, that you were abandoned by all your doctors in utter despair, close to agony, so that I might show you the excellence of my art and my humble desire to serve you.
I am much obliged to you, sir, for the kindness you show towards me.
Let me feel your pulse. Come on, come on. Beat properly, please. You'll see I'll make you beat as you should very soon. Your pulse is playing games with me. It doesn't know me very well. Who is your doctor?
Monsieur Pogo.
That man isn't listed in my book among the great doctors. What does he say ails you?
He says my liver is ill. Others say it's the spleen.
They're all ignorance. It's the lungs.
The lungs?
Yes. What are your symptoms?
Sometimes I have headaches.
Exactly. The lungs.
Sometimes I feel as though there's a mist before my eyes.
The lungs.
Sometimes I have heartburn.
The lungs.
Occasionally I feel weakness in my limbs.
The lungs.
Sometimes I have sharp pains in my stomach as if I had diarrhea.
The lungs. Do you have a good appetite?
Yes, sir.
The lungs. Do you like to drink wine?
Yes, sir.
The lungs. Do you feel sleepy after your meals and enjoy a little snooze?
Yes, sir.
The lungs. The lungs, I tell you. What foods has your doctor prescribed?
Soup,
Ignorant.
chicken,
Ignorant.
veal,
Ignorant.
broth,
Ignorant.
fresh eggs.
Ignorant.
Occasionally before bed, a few prunes to ease my bowels.
Ignorant.
And of course, to always drink my wine well diluted with water.
Ignoratus, ignorata, ignoratum. You have to drink your wine pure. And to thicken your blood, you need nice fatty beef, nice fatty pork, nice Dutch cheese, rice, chestnuts, and crepes to make it adhere together and conglutinate. Your doctor is an ass. I'll send you one of my own, and I'll come visit you from time to time when I'm in town.
I'm truly grateful to you, sir.
What on earth are you doing with that arm?
Excuse me?
If I were you, I'd have it cut off immediately.
But why?
Can't you see that it's pulling all the nourishment away from the other side and preventing it to grow?
Sure, but I need my arm.
I'd also have that right eye of yours plucked out.
My right eye plucked out.
Can't you see that it's stealing from the other and sucking all of its energy? Believe me, have it plucked out as soon as possible. You'll see a lot more clearly from the left eye.
No need to rush it.
Goodbye. I hate to leave you so soon, but I must take place in the examination committee of a man who died yesterday.
A man who died yesterday.
Yes, to consider what we could have done or should have done to cure him. Goodbye!
But you realize it's not retroactive, right?
There's a doctor who seems very clever.
A bit hasty.
Oh, all great doctors are.
Cut off my arm and pluck out my eye so that the other might work better. I prefer they don't work better. Oh, that's a great operation, making me one-eyed and one-armed.
Excuse me, no, sir. I work for Monsieur. Leave me alone.
What's the matter?
Who was your doctor, sir? He wanted to feel my pulse.
Imagine that. At age 90.
Well, brother, now that you and Mr. Burgon have had a falling out, may I finally speak to you about the match for my niece, which I came here to defend?
No. She openly defied me. She will be sent to a convent. I can smell some love affair underneath it all, and I've discovered a certain secret interview, which thankfully no one knows I've discovered.
As usual, there's someone you're trying to please.
I know what you're insinuating. Sister, once again, you return to the subject of my wife!
Well, yes, since I must speak out, it is your wife. And I can no more bear your infatuation with doctors than your infatuation for her. I watch you fall into every trap she lays out for you.
Ah, madam, no! She is a person whom nothing bad can be said against. A person completely devoid of artifice and loves this man to death. She loves him to... I can't even find the words.
Ask her about the caresses she ravishes for me.
You are right.
And how worried she is about my illness.
Indeed.
And how selflessly she cares for me.
Quite true. Do you need me to make this irrefutable and prove to you right now how much my mistress loves him? Sir, allow me to take her down a notch or two and expose her fallacy.
How?
Madam will be back soon. Stretch yourself out on this chair and pretend to be dead. You'll see how devastated she is when I share the news with her.
Okay, I'll play along.
But don't leave her in despair for too long.
Oh, don't worry, I won't.
Good. Go over there.
Could it be dangerous to pretend that one is dead?
Of course not. How so? Just stretch yourself out over here. This will be fun, you'll see. Here she comes. Be quiet. Heavens! A misfortune! What a terrible accident!
What's the matter, Toinette?
Oh, madam,
What?
your husband is dead.
My husband is dead.
Alas, the poor soul just passed.
Are you sure?
Quite. No nobody knows yet, and I've been here alone. He took his last breath in my arms. Look at him, stretched in his chair.
Heavens be praised! I'm finally freed of this massive burden! How silly of you, Toinette, to be so moved!
I thought it was appropriate, madam, to grieve.
Come on! That's enough! How is this a big loss? How did he contribute anything to the world? Unpleasant with everyone, always dirty, full of disgusting habits, always close to bursting with enemas and medicines, completely devoid of charm, boring, ill-natured, and constantly exhausting everyone around him, and scolding his maid and his servants.
What a beautiful eulogy.
Toinette, you have to help me carry out my plan, and trust me, you'll be happy you did. Since no one's aware of his death, let's carry him to his bed and leave him there until I've had time to get things in order. There's documents to find, and money, and it's just not right that I've spent the best years of my life with this man without any reward. Come, let's get his keys.
Careful. So, my wife, this is how you love me.
The deceased isn't dead?
I'm glad to have heard your affection for me and to have witnessed your splendid panegyric. I now know how to handle the final affairs of my estate.
Well, brother, now you know.
My goodness. I could have never believed that. But I hear your daughter. Quick, go back to your chair and let's see how she reacts to the news of your passing. It's good to know these things. And since you've already begun, you may as well go all the way and see how your whole family feels about you. Oh, heavens! What a terrible accident! What a miserable day!
What is it, Toinette? Why are you crying?
Alas, I have very sad news.
What?
Your father is dead.
My father is dead, Toinette?
Yes. Here he is in his chair. He died a few moments ago of a sudden weakness.
Oh, heavens! What misfortune! How cruel! Must I lose my father now, the only person I have left in the world? And could it really be true that I would lose him when he was angry with me? What will become of me? How will I survive? What consolation will I be able to find after so great a loss?
What's the matter, dear Angelique? Why are you weeping?
Alas, I weep for what was most precious and most dear to me in all my life. I weep for the death of my father.
Oh, heavens! What misfortune! How unforeseen this is! Alas, I was coming to meet her father in order to sway him with my respects and my pleadings to grant me what I most wish.
Let's never talk of marriage again. Let's forget everything, Cléante. Now that my father is dead, I no longer want to be a part of this world, and I renounce it forever. Yes, my dear father. If I resisted your will, I will now bow to your desire in hopes to be forgiven for causing you pain. Allow me, Father, to make you this promise and to give you this kiss as proof of my repentance.
Oh, my God. Oh, come near, my child. I'm not dead. Don't be afraid. You are my true daughter. You are my true flesh, and I am so happy to have heard the kindness of your heart.
Oh, Father, what a beautiful surprise. And now that heaven has returned you to this loving place, let me throw myself at your feet to implore you one favor. If you don't approve of my heart's choice, if you refuse to give me Cléante for a husband, I beseech you, don't force me to marry another. It's all I ask of you.
Ah, sir, let your heart be moved by her entreaties and by mine, and don't oppose the mutual passion you see before you.
Brother, how can you resist?
Sir, will you remain insensible to such a display of passion?
Let him become a doctor, and I'll consent to the marriage. Yes, become a doctor. I'll give you my daughter.
With pleasure, sir! If that's all that's required to become your son-in-law, I will make myself a doctor. And an apothecary as well, if you like. After all, it shouldn't be very hard. And I would do much more to obtain the freedom of loving the beautiful Angelique.
Brother, I've just had an idea. Become a doctor yourself. It will be much more convenient to have everything you need within yourself.
Quite true. That's how you'll cure yourself. No disease is bold enough to dare attack a doctor.
Oh, sister, I think you're mocking me again. I'm much too old to begin medical studies.
Medical studies? Why? You're intelligent enough, and there are many doctors who are not nearly as intelligent as you.
But I have to learn Latin. I would have to know all those diseases and the remedies that cure them.
When you put on the cap and gown of a doctor, you'll know everything you need to know. And you'll be much more clever than you ever cared to become.
But I can make speeches on different diseases the moment I wear the dress?
Yes! Speak while wearing the cap and gown, gibberish becomes savant, idiocy turns into reason.
Look at you, sir. You already have a beard. Your beard alone puts you halfway there.
With that being said, sir, I'm ready for anything.
Shall we get this done now?
How now?
Right here in your house.
In my house.
I have a body of physician friends of mine that I can call upon to come here right away and perform the ceremony right here in your living room.
Oh.
It will cost you nothing.
But what will I say? What will I answer?
A few words will suffice to instruct you, and they'll give you a written copy of what you'll need to say. Go. Put on some decent clothes. I'll send for them.
Very well. Let's see what happens.
Auntie, what are you saying? And what do you mean by this body of physician friends of yours?
What is your plan?
To entertain ourselves and our guests. My friends, all actors, have created a piece about a doctor with music and dance. I want us to enjoy ourselves, and for my brother to play the lead role.
But Auntie, it seems to me as if you're having too much fun at my father's expense.
But, my dear niece, it's not about having fun at his expense. It's about having fun while accommodating his folly. This is just between us. We'll all take on roles and satirize each other. Theater allows it. Come on, let's get ready.
Do you agree?
Yes, now that Auntie is leading us.
Invalid was the last comedy Moliere wrote.
He was gravely ill when he wrote it.
It was first performed
With Moliere in the role of Argon.
at the Palais Royal Theatre on February 10th, 1673.
During the third performance, he began coughing up blood.
He died soon after.
On February 17th, 1673.